Peter Parker is busy working on his Spider-Man equipment to get over seeing Gwen with Flash when there's suddenly someone at the door. It's Harry, his roommate, and Flash Thompson, who wants to talk to Peter. But Peter's got no time for talking, not with the man that stole his girl, and he grabs Flash ready for a fight. We're reading every Spider-Man ever, and this is The Amazing Spider-Man issue 80, On the Trail of the Chameleon. Peter Parker is saved from accidentally revealing his spider strength when Flash reveals the real reason he was meeting up with Gwen. She was worried about him, about Peter, and thought that Flash could help explain why Peter was so distant. Suddenly regretting his actions, Peter puts Flash down and calls Gwen to apologise, asking her out. And lucky for him, she's going out to a museum today to see some priceless paintings, and so Peter will be there as fast as he can. When he arrives, he's surrounded by works of art, but Gwen Stacy looks like the only masterpiece in the place to him. He steals her away, ducking her out of the crowd, and the two of them kiss. They're interrupted by George Stacy, who doesn't acknowledge them at all, just walks away from a private room, and for some reason, Peter's spider sense goes off. That's quickly explained when a woman screams and they discover that priceless paintings have been stolen, right out of the room that George Stacy was just in. And George Stacy himself is nowhere to be found. He's eventually discovered back at home when Peter, Gwen and Jonah drive back to the Stacy's house and find him there, dazed and claiming that he never left. He must have been drugged and impersonated, and we zoom across town to reveal the culprit, the chameleon, basking in his latest triumph. And even though Peter Parker doesn't see this, he suspects that he knows who's behind the robbery and plans to capture the villain before he disappears with the priceless paintings. As Spider-Man, he swings into the Bugle and makes a deal with Robbie Robertson. Robbie is going to advertise a big transfer of bonds happening right on the front page of the Bugle, a trap baited to draw the chameleon in. But the plan doesn't quite work. The next day, Peter Parker is there as a photographer, sensing each person with his spider sense, but he's unable to find the right person. Desperately changing tactics, he becomes Spider-Man in a cupboard and breaks into a business meeting, leaping down and telling the chameleon that he has him, that his ruse is up, hoping that the chameleon will panic and bolt, but no one does. And so Spidey is left grappling at the wrong person, trying to remove a mask that doesn't exist when the police burst in and he's forced to make a quick getaway. But all is not lost and the chameleon hasn't escaped yet. Spider-Man perches on the side of the building and waits for it to clear, hoping to spot the fake amongst the crowd, and he does, instantly knowing for certain that he has his man. How does he know? Well, he swings down and grabs Peter Parker, who is leaving with Jonah. Jonah tries to protect his employee from the menace Spider-Man, but he gets knocked down for his troubles and then watches Peter Parker throw a grenade at him. Luckily, Spider-Man is there to wrap the grenade in a cushion of web, stopping any damage, and he's there to rip Peter out of a getaway car and unmask him, revealing to all that it's not Peter Parker at all. Of course it's not. It's the chameleon. But how did he know, yells Jonah as Spider-Man leaves. And that's a secret that Spidey will never reveal. Thanks for watching and joining me on this journey to read every Spider-Man comic ever. If you're eager for more or want to support the channel, you can leave a like, subscribe, or you can get early and exclusive episodes on Patreon or by joining on YouTube here. Next week, it's the coming of the kangaroo, but until that issue, here's a fun fact about this one. The first time that Spider-Man fought the chameleon was in Amazing Spider-Man issue 1, although this comic incorrectly says that it was issue 2. It was the second Spider-Man story in that issue though, which I think is where the confusion came from.